The headlines: Fire outbreak guts Transmission Company of Nigeria office in Kebbi State. Election Petition Tribunal upholds election of Edo Senator. Nigeria or National Bureau of Statistics says food prices continue to rise in July. And from the international scene, Morocco unveils a rehousing program for quake-hit areas. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the details. Transmission Company of Nigeria, the TCN in Birnin Kebbi State, is gutted by fire. The immediate cause of the fire is not known yet. Some residents of Mechanic Village in Birnin Kebbi Metropolis, where the TCN office is located, said they only heard a loud bang followed by thick fire and smoke section of the electric installation. The fire was still raging and extended to other facilities around at 1 a.m. Friday morning. The development comes hours after fire outbreak on the Kainji Jebba 330 kilovolt line triggered the collapse of the national grid and resulting in the nationwide power outage on Thursday. The residents of Abuja, the nation's capital, have called on the federal government to ensure the effective steps are taken to avert the frequent collapse of the national grid. They made the call while speaking to Trust TV on the negative impact on small businesses. Our reporter Amina Ibrahim has more.
In the early hours of Thursday, residents of Abuja experienced total blackouts, with business owners left in the dark. For many, running generator as alternative power source for their businesses is gradually becoming a luxury that only a few can afford due to the fuel subsidy removal.
Actually, I just woke up in the morning during the night, and I noticed the light just get low, and that's all. When I came to work, I noticed no light, and nobody tell us what happened. Everywhere, the country was just shut down. Everywhere, no light. Nobody explain. Nobody tell us anything. We don't even know what happened to the light. We just meet ourselves in this position that no light and everywhere. And you imagine we using generator, 800 naira per liter. This I pass my neighbor. That's what you can use. 800 naira per liter. How many liter will I buy a day? And I'm using meter. I subscribe my meter. I have card inside my meter, but I don't have access to the light. This just, we don't even know who we will ask now. Nobody is out there to explain to us. That's just how we find ourselves.
Abubakar Dayebu, a small business owner, said electricity is very important to the life of an individual, especially businesses, because of its vital role across all sectors of human life. They lamented how customers are disappointed when they come pick up their appliances when not fully charged due to the lack of electricity, which they added slows their operations.
Like today, I couldn't finish my customers' hair. I was supposed to use lights, and the gen we have was giving us some challenges because of the fuel issue. So we were unable to finish the hair, and the customer wasn't happy. She was so angry about it. So the lights issue has been a big problem to us here in this area.
Since where our generator gets spoiled, we could not be able to repair it, and even the oil is cost. We have oil is very cost, so we could not be able to use generator to do work, because if you charge customer for the money of oil, they'll say they could not be able to pay it, and the amount you use to buy oil is becoming too much for us.
They called on the government to do more to avoid future reoccurrence of the national grid collapse to enable Nigerians, especially business operators, to function effectively. In Abuja, Amina Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV News.
As part of building or a part of building under construction in Asaba, the Delta State capital, has collapsed. The building, still at the first floor stage, caved in, sending some of the pillars down. Workers were still working on the building when it collapsed, and no casualty was recorded. However, according to the Commissioner for Urban Renewal, Delta State, Ifeanyi Anoka, who addressed newsmen.
It's a building defect, and the ministry is still investigating. The government is already taking measures. As you can see here, the compound has been sealed. So until after our investigation, then we'll come up with what happened here. We'll come up with a report.
Any casualty?
No casualty.
What are the components of the building that's collapsed?
No injury.
What are the components of the building?
I think it's the first floor, the side of the first floor. Yes.
Will you tell us what was the cost? What might be the cost of the collapse?
Like what I told you before, the ministry will investigate what happened here today. And after the investigation, we'll come up with a report of what happened here today.
The National and State Houses of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Benin has affirmed the election of Neda Imasuen of the Labour Party as senator representing Edo South in the National Assembly. The candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Matthew Idorie Kemwen and his party had challenged the victory of the Labour Party senator in the February 25th election. The petitioners had approached the tribunal seeking the nullification of Imasuen's victory on 4 grounds. The grounds specifically included alleged non-qualification, overvoting, corrupt practice, non-compliance with the Electoral Act by the Independent National Electoral Commission, the INEC, and the nomination of the first respondent by the LP. The 3-member panel, led by Justice Yusuf Mohammed, however, dismissed the petition for lacking in merit and being incompetent. Justice Mohammed, who read the over 3 hours judgment, said the petitioners failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Imasuen was not qualified to participate in the election. The tribunal held that the allegations of non-qualification, party nomination or sponsorship of an election were pre-election matters that could only be entertained by the Federal High Court. President Bola Tinubu says a report on livestock reforms, which he received on Thursday in a panacea of incessant conflicts between the farmers and pastoralists in the country. He spoke at State House Assembly in Abuja when he was presented the report by a delegation led by the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje. Kehinde Amodu reports.
Okay. The age-long conflict between herders and farmers in Nigeria has resulted in the loss of lives and livelihood and has created a subversive security situation in the country. It has also resulted in low productivity from the sector, making Nigeria an import-dependent economy and draining scarce foreign reserves used for importing dairy, meat and other livestock products. President Tinubu is convinced that the inability to He says the federal government under his watch is ready to take drastic steps to solve the problem in line with recommendations in the report.
Plan to acquire land for ranches and livestock development. You pay for the land if you don't want to give us free, if you don't want to participate. And imagine you create this opportunity. It's a life-saving opportunity that we have.
The APC national chairman says not all herdsmen are responsible for conflicts along grazing routes.
Herdsmen from the northern part of this country moving to the central Nigeria, down to the southern part of Nigeria, creating problems along the routes. And the other is transhuman. Herdsmen coming from West Africa, down to northern part of Nigeria, down to the middle belt, down to the southern part of Nigeria, creating a lot of problems along the route.
On the other hand, experts on the committee insist that the old herding customs must be reformed.
Those who are into cattle business in the traditional format are also human beings. They need to be addressed. But the panacea is we need to migrate, transist from this migratory tendency to ranching, mini ranching that support system can address.
The Livestock Reform Committee reviewed and analyzed varied experiences across the world to come up with practical recommendations for reforming the industry at all levels. There are clear strategies outlined devoid of any political, ethnic or religious biases, but strictly aimed at guiding federal, state and local government administrations on how best to promote the industry, enhance the quality of lives of citizens and promote peaceful coexistence and social harmony. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Farmers in northern Nigeria are investing a lot of, to secure their farm produce against thieves as the harvest season approaches. To this end, they are employing local hunters to protect their farms. Ibrahim Ismail met Muhammad Sani, a hunter who lives in the forest to secure farms in Gombe State. His report.
It is already dusk, and local hunter Muhammad Sani tours some farms in the outskirts of the state capital, Gombe. Holding a hunting gun and a cutlass, the guard strategizes for the night duty to ensure farm produce are secured. Sani, who has been in the job for 15 years, is proud of his contributions in safeguarding farmers' hard-earned treasures.
Ina jin daɗi akan cewa a ce a mayarwa mutane abunsu.
I feel happy to recover looted produce to the farmers. The thief will feel bad if someone looted his farm. This is inappropriate. If the looters are being punished, they will stop. The local guard, who shares experience of his encounters with farm looters, defies all obstacles involved as he remains determined to deliver results.
Akwai wata rana da nazo gonan, shi bai san ina gonan ba. Ina zaune a gindin itace. Shi ina jin bat.
There was a time I caught a thief looting a farm. He wasn't aware of my presence. I heard him harvesting the produce. I threatened to shoot him when he tried to escape.
Me kake yi? Yace ya fita zai fita da gudu. Yana ce a tsaya, in ka fita da gudu zan harbe ka. Ka tsaya.
Farmers say local hunters like Muhammad Sani play a significant role in safeguarding the fruits of their labor.
Gaskiya ana barna. Don shi yasa ne ma yanzu in dai gonanka ta kai gona dole ka nemi masu maka gadi.
Farms are being looted. One must watch his farm or engage a local guard to provide security. With the soaring food prices, even those who are close to you may tamper with your farm produce. Sani believed that hunters will assist security agencies in securing the country if given the necessary support by the government.
We want
the governor to assist us with operational vehicles. We can secure communities as well, not just farms. Farmers often record pockets of looting of produce before or during the harvest season, a situation that forces some farmers to spend nights in their farms. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Police in Kebbi State have intercepted 2 articulated vehicles conveying 7,500 live cartridges and parcels of cannabis worth over 600 million naira. One of the trucks was coming from Ghana through Togo and Benin Republic to Nigeria, while the second vehicle took off from Benin Republic to Nigeria, beating different security checkpoints. Briefing journalists on the development, the spokesperson of the command, SP Nafiu Abubakar, described the arrest as huge. He said that on September 10th, a police border patrol team on Saransa Maje Road, Bagudu local government area, intercepted a container truck conveying 4,927 parcels suspected to be Indian hemp, valued at over 300 million naira. Abubakar said 3 suspects, Emmanuel Chukuma from Abia State, Kanta Bisa from Ghana, and Shola Adeyemi from Ondo State, were arrested while others escaped. 2 days later, the same border patrol team intercepted another container truck with the registration number IT 21608LA conveying 7,500 live cartridges and 4,106 parcels of dry leaves suspected to be Indian hemp. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, what to do with tons of solid waste. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to Trust TV, where we document the Nigerian story. Our programming showcases the rich culture and diversity of Nigeria. We strive to amplify the voices that make our nation unique. Our programming is designed to take you on a journey through the different tastes of entertainment in our country. We showcase the best of Nigerian culture, from traditional craft to cutting-edge technology. Our team of expert journalists are dedicated to unveiling the intricacies of our culture and telling the untold stories that binds us all. And let's not forget the food. Nigeria has diverse and flavorful cuisines, some of the favorites to millions across the world. What is Nigeria without its people, their passions and their talent? Trust TV is not just a channel, it's a platform that brings you closer to everything that makes Nigeria great. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you fire outbreak guards Transmission Company of Nigeria office in Kebbi State. An election petition tribunal upholds election of Edo senator. Moving on to more stories, as most schools prepare to resume in Benue State next week Monday, there is apprehension among parents and guardians over the cost of children's education. The current economic hardship and situation has left many lamenting as they figure out how to cope with the rising cost of living. Jimmy Adzande reports.
The parents and guardians are worried about the economic situation occasioned by the subsidy removal, which has put a strain on the income of many families.
Because what we were paying before at resumption, they said it is no longer that way. Little that we have kept in the bank is not even able to clear up whatever we're supposed to pay this time. So it is actually hard for all parents. It's hard for me, I don't know for other parents, but I believe it's applicable to other parents. But we are believing God for things to get better though.
They also complained the salaries have not increased, whereas cost of goods and services has tripled in this state.
At least the burden of them being home all through the break period and their disturbance and all that, it will actually lessen the troubles or the problem or challenges of the parents. But based on the economic situation, you can find out that you can see that even taking them to school, the transportation, fueling the car, buying of their snacks, since everything now is on the increase, coupled with the fact that our salaries are not even increasing in any way, it's still the same at the same point. So I think it's telling on us parents, but we always find a way around all these things because our children definitely have to go to school.
But in spite of these challenges, some feel lack of preparedness by parents and guardians is a major problem.
Yes, there are a lot of challenges, but there's also a challenge that you cannot let aside because everything needs preparation. Assuming your child has come back in September, in August, as he resume back in September, start preparing the very day he arrives from school, so that on the day of resumption, he goes on time. Not just waiting until the school resumes before you start preparing for his. Because that will take you 2 or 3 weeks before he will resume.
As Trust TV gathered, there are indications that most sponsors will relocate their workers to schools where they can spend less in school fees and transportation fares. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
According to the Yale Center for Environmental Law and Policy, Nigeria is among 30 out of the 180 countries with the worst waste management practice in the world. With a score of 12.7 out of 100, Nigeria performed way below average compared to neighbors in sub-Saharan Africa like Seychelles and Equatorial Guinea, which scored about 69 and 63 respectively. In this report, Noel Samson speaks to some environmental activists on the way forward for Nigeria's waste management system. Take a look.
Nigeria produces an estimated 32 million tons of solid waste per year, with only about 20 to 30% of it being collected and managed correctly. The remainder of the waste is either dumped in unauthorized places or burnt, contributing to pollution and health risks. Hence the need for a proper waste management system in the country.
The government must try as much as possible to make sure that they carry the civil society organization, they carry them along, the religious body. Nowadays, we tend to believe our religious leader more than anybody. You understand? So religious body too should be carried along in implementing most of the government policies regarding to environmental policies.
We're trying to raise awareness for climate change, trying to make people to understand the risk of especially plastic waste in the environment and how it can become a problem in the future. And also we're trying to shed light on climate finance and also losses here. So basically it's about plastic waste, raising awareness about waste management generally. The issue of waste management in Nigeria is, like you said, is a two-pronged issue. It's for the government and also for the people. So on the part of the government, I think enforcing policies, because we seem to have a lot of policies in Nigeria that are not enforced. So if we have policies that can be enforced so that the normal people, the masses, understand the implication of not following certain processes, that will help us a lot. And then on the part of the masses also, we need to really change our behavior and attitude towards waste handling.
I would not like to repeat what others have said concerning the government, but my own part will be, why can't government partner with non-governmental organizations and other agencies that already have plans that are doing things towards this environmental sustainability? Government can actually partner with NGOs, and together we can come up with strategies to include the religious leaders, to include local community leaders, to include school organizations and every corporate firm, and we can now do it individually and now harmonize them as one. That way we can address so many subs and in which we still achieve the same common goal of which is a sustainable environment.
Effective waste management will protect biodiversity, natural resources, and human life. It will also have a positive economic impact as more jobs will be created as a result of running an effective waste management. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In business, the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS, says prices of food items such as beef, tomatoes, beans, and yams witnessed increases in July. It made the declaration in its Selected Food Prices Watch report for July 2023, issued in Abuja on Friday. The report stated that the average price of 1 kg of boneless beef increased by 30.17% from 2,118.84 naira recorded in July 2022 to 2,758.13 naira in July 2023. While the average price of 1 kg of tomato on a year-on-year basis rose by 24.88% from 446.81 naira in July 2022 to 557.96 naira in July 2023. Similarly, the report stated that the average price of 1 kg of brown beans increased by 19.73% on a year-on-year basis from 562.55 naira in July 2022 to 673.53 naira in July 2023. The NBS said the average price of 1 kg of onion bulb rose by 26.65% on a year-on-year basis from 396.96 naira in July 2022 to 502.73 naira in July 2023. Meanwhile, the average price of 1 kg yam tuber increased by 38.40% on a year-on-year basis from 389.75 naira in July 2022 to 539.41 naira in July 2023. It said that the average price of 1 liter of palm oil increased by 35.70% on a year-on-year basis from 890.67 naira in July 2022 to 1,208.62 naira in July 2023. And now from the international scene, Moroccan authorities have announced the launch of an aid program on Thursday to support and rehouse the residents of about 50,000 buildings damaged in last week's devastating earthquake. The magnitude 6.8 earthquake, Morocco's strongest ever, has killed nearly 3,000 people and injured more than 5,600 since it hit last Friday in Al Haouz province, south of tourist hub Marrakesh. Those left homeless will be provided with temporary shelter in structures designed to withstand cold and bad weather or in reception sites equipped with all the necessary amenities. The royal office said in a statement following a meeting chaired by King Mohammed VI. The Moroccan authorities have also ordered urgent aid of 30,000 dirhams, nearly $3,000, to households affected by the disaster, the statement added. It said this would form the first stage of a program covering some 50,000 houses that had fully or partially collapsed in the quake. The royal office said 1,400,000 dirhams, about $13,600, would be allocated for homes that were completely collapsed, in addition to the 80,000 dirhams to rebuild partially collapsed structures. And finally, in sports, the former champions RS Berkane has announced their arrival in Nigeria for the CAF Confederation Cup second preliminary round first leg clash against Bendel Insurance. The Moroccan Giants made the announcement on their verified social media handle. And with that, we wrap up news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. You can join our YouTube Live for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.